Long way, get this shit a long way, this shit a long way. Long way, hit the long way, 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 shit, long way, long shit, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, long way, shit a long way. Gotta get the shot, get the shit a long way. Gotta get the shot, get the shot, get the shit a long way. Finish rich, yeah. Gotta get the shit a long way. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, but she don't understand. She be trippin' every day, she be trippin' every way. But I gotta get this shit the long way. Gotta get this shit the long way. Tryna get money every single way. Tryna get money every single day. Get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. I'm feeling like we be the new slaves. No, we gotta finish rich. No, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand. She don't understand. Niggas gotta get rich. She don't understand. Sometimes we gotta hit lit. No, we ain't hit lit. Tryna get the long way, yeah. Tryna get the shit the long way, yeah. Coach is tryna wrap up a entree, yeah. Told you the other day that did my phone strong. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah. Yeah, get the shit the long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like the phone way. My name is Tari, I ain't playing games, so I'm done Tari. Yesterday she told me that she about to leave, man. Said fuck it, bitch, we gon' get some money. Said fuck it, bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I want to get some money, yeah. Cause we gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get shit the long way, yeah. Back and forth like the pong way, yeah. Man, I'ma get the shit the long way, get the shit the long way. Just the only way today, because they go with shit is crazy. We gotta wear masks, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day. We be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay for me, yeah. So we gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get the shit long way, we gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get the shit the long way, yeah, we get the shit the long way, yeah. Cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, yeah, we gon' get the long way, yeah.
What's up, everybody? Hello. Let me move this. There we go. What's up, Luminoff? Welcome. Getting double today. All right. Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. I'm your host and the founder. What's up, Andre? Host and founder of SMD. And I am here to share my gift. My gift is that I know that capitalism is psychological, split into two parts, positive and negative. And on the negative side is where debt slaves live. Debt slaves are people that believe they can own with no money of their own, think they can buy houses with mortgages, buy cars with car loans, save for retirement while having student loan debt older than the retirement plan itself. Okay, those are called debt slaves. Now, the psychological part is that they don't know that they're debt slaves. I was once a debt slave, crossed over from negative side to the positive side. Now I understand. Now all I do is help people participate in capitalism on the positive side. That's my goal, because it all counts. It's like a battery. You know, you put a battery in a car and just hook up the negative side, the car ain't gonna start. You just hook up the positive side and no negative side, the car is still not gonna start, right? You need them both. So that's what I do. I help people come over here, participate on it positively, right? Help legally not pay taxes. Taxes help build wealth. They're not bad or evil. Banks are not big, bad, and evil. They're just privately owned businesses, period. Nothing else. All right. Anyway, so I came on today to kind of talk about what's been going on in the economy lately. I haven't really been paying too much attention and seeing what's been happening besides the, just the normal stuff, the student loan debt, people complaining about it, thinking they should wipe it all out. People, what's so crazy? People in student loan debt, they don't even realize what they be saying, right? They don't even realize that you think they're just going to wipe out 1.7, what is it, $1.7 trillion in student loan debt now or something? Is it trillion? Yeah, it's trillion, right? No, 45 million. What is it? What's it? It's in the trillions now, isn't it? Some crazy number. Anyway, they think they're gonna, the billions. It was the billions, right? Billions, not trillions, billions. And they think they're just gonna wipe it out. That's crazy. Now I'm totally off. What's the total student loan debt now? See, I just don't even follow it no more. It's just numbers. uh, let me see. Total student debt 2023. 1.77 trillion. Okay, got it. All right. So I was right. It is in the trillions. That is absolute. So you think the government is just going to just wipe it out 1.7? You guys are bananas when you guys talk like that. You know that? You guys don't know what student loan truly represents. You're slaves. You're debt slaves. You're owned. If you cannot bankrupt that debt, you are owned. Especially, let me tell you how it works, because it really doesn't matter. If in your mind that you have totally given up on ever paying off your student loan debt, you're done. You're toast. You can never own a house. You can never own a car. You can never go on vacation. You can never buy fund. You can't, nothing. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, what the hell are you talking about, LJ? I do that all the time. I'm just saying, mathematically speaking, if you put it down on paper, math would say you can't do any of that stuff that you're doing today. You can't do any of that. But you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm doing it anyway. Well, I understand that. I do. That's the psychological part. The psychological part is that you believe that you can when it's mathematically not true. Like, the people that are listening to me now, that you have student loans older than your mortgage. If your student loans are older than your mortgage, 9 times out of 10, you probably got a FHA mortgage. And you're probably thinking, well, LJ, how did you guess that? Because they're specially designed. Those type of mortgages are specially designed for people that really, really don't know you can't buy a house with a mortgage, that just simply will not accept it. So it's all a plus. If you don't want to accept it, hey, they might as well make some money off of you. It doesn't, hey, listen, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care how they do it. But if your student loans are older than your FHA subprime mortgage, you will never be a homeowner ever in your life. Do you know that? You can't own a house. You can't own a house while having student loan debt older than the house. Now this is hard. Don't This is hard to grasp. I get it. To accept that the only way you're going to be free is to pay off your student loan debt. That's the only way. Did you know your credit report? That's an owner's ledger. Did you know that? Yep, sure is. That's an owner's ledger. It keeps track of all the businesses that own you. You probably didn't know that, did you? Yep. And guess what? What, LJ? You know that credit score you worship and get on your knees and put your hands together? Those are reward points those are nothing more than reward points that's for staying in debt with the owners listed on your credit report. All your owners, they're like, thank you. Thank you. Here's some points. Thank you for paying back that interest on time. You get a high credit score. For those of you that don't pay back the interest on time, you guys get a low credit score. That's all. Nothing, it's nothing more than that. It's a privately owned business. Congratulations, banks. Hey, all you big bankers, congratulations. All the big people, all the big wigs and the big tall, I'm here. Congratulations. You guys will know me soon. Trust me. I promise you that. Now back to the audience. I hate when I go off sometimes. I'll be going off task. I'll be leading somewhere and then I forget. It's a beautiful thing, though. Don't get me wrong. You guys, man, you guys don't even get it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's magnificent. I just I just discovered this. Do you guys understand what that means? That means I didn't design it. This was created long before I was ever even thought of, before I was a twinkle in my daddy's eye. Somebody thought of this. Did you guys listen, it's a whole different language. Here, let me give you an example. Watch this. Did you know you can't buy a house with a mortgage? Now, the majority of you guys will hear that and be like, "What the hell is he talking about?" I'm just the only thing I just told you was a mathematically true statement. You can't buy a house with a mortgage. Did you guys know it only takes 1 day to buy a house? What the hell is he talking about 1 day? Unless you're rich and this and that. What? I'm just making a mathematical statement. I didn't say anything about being rich or poor or nothing. I just said you can't do that according to mathematics. That's it. Now, when you guys hear me talking about buying a house in cash and buying it 1 day, I know the first thought to your head is, "Oh, you got to be rich to do that." Did you know that's part of the program for you to immediately think that think you have to be rich to buy a house in cash? That's a program. That's not true. None of that is true. Uh, Why? Put it this way: you hear me say 1 day to buy a house, but for some odd reason, you think it takes 30 years of your life. Does that make sense? 1 day, 30 years. What is that? And it's so obvious too. It is just it, it- it's so beautifully obvious. Like here, let me give an example. Say like a person wanted to buy a house for $300,000, okay? Say like the person makes $100,000 a year gross. They go to the bank, they go to the bank and sign up for a 30-year mortgage on a $300,000 house making $100,000 a year. When they could just take a step back and go, this is how obvious it is. Wait a minute, I make $100,000 a year. The house is 300,000. I could pay it off in 5. That seems pretty obvious. 300,000. I make $100,000 a year minus taxes. Probably take me around 5 years. But for some reason, you believe it takes 30, and because you got qualified for it. That doesn't even. Hey, listen. If you go to the bank and you make $100,000 a year and you go to them and say, "Hey, bank, I'll sign up for a 30-year mortgage on a $300,000 house," that's your problem. That's absolutely your problem. Congratulations, bank. I would sign you up too. People are going up to 40-year mortgages now. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Andre, I'm talking in that scenario that I just said. I'm talking about if you ain't got no other debt, no kids, you by yourself making 6 figures. You could pay that off in 5 to 7 for sure. That's best scenario. Worst scenario, 10 years maximum. Okay? Maximum. You get 10 max. Even that, listen, even with that, say like you decide to say like you're in your late 20s, early 30s, and you decide to get a mortgage, you get the best mortgage, 20% down, blah, 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 and you pay that house off in 10. Guess what? While the rest of everybody in the United States of America thinks rent and or mortgage is normal, you will know that it's not because you will never have that. You will have eliminated the largest monthly expense that everybody believes that's you're just supposed to have. You won't have one for the rest of your life. While everybody walk around complaining about how how high rent is and mortgage interest rates and all this other stuff, you won't even pay attention to any of that because that's none of your business. Do you think, here, let me give you an example. Do you think people with no student loan debt pay attention to all the news about student loan debt? They don't even pay attention to it. Why? Because they have no student loan debt. I only pay attention to it because I know what it's doing to you guys. You guys are owned. Sign you right up at 18. Debt slave right at the 18. You cannot bankrupt this debt. That means you got to pay it all back. As you're owned for the rest of your life. Now, if you're young, first hearing me talk about this, you got time on your side to get out, to stop. It's small. It's not that much. I know when you're young and you might have 20 or $30,000 in student loan debt, that might sound like a 300,000, but it's not. Take care of it. Stay at home, pay it off. Don't listen to your friends. Get you right at 18. Listen, no questions asked. Borrow as much as you want. Why do you think that is? Free money? They don't even care if you don't even spend it on school. Have you noticed that? You go get it. I'm gonna get that student loan money and go buy some tires and buy some this and that and whatever. They don't even question it. Have you noticed that? Why not? Because they own you. And then they send you a check of that round up money. Hey, we're gonna round this up to even $30,000. Here's the extra 2,000. What you gonna do? Take it and spend it. You don't know no better at 18, especially if your parents didn't teach you. It starts at home. It starts at home. When a kid's born, they don't know if they're debt slaves or not. They don't know that. They'll know very quickly as they grow up. Oh man, the tax man and IRS and bounce checks and putting utilities and putting grown-ups putting the utilities in their parents' names and using you'll know very quickly which side you're on real quick. And then some will think that's normal. That's how it's passed down. Scamming and scheming, trying to get over on the bank, stealing money, ATM, we're coming up. No, that's wrong. All wrong. That's all on the negative side. All wrong. When you find yourself, if you find, listen, if you find yourself committing felonies that can get you in prison for money, you're doing it wrong. Only people on the negative side risk something more valuable for money, the time in your life. That's more valuable than money. Your life order is out of order. You got money first, time second. If you're like, hey, if I get caught by the police or the FBI or somebody making money illegally, I can go to prison. That means your life order is out of order. Money's first, time is second. You out of order. Listen, only debt slaves risk the time in their life for worthless pennies, worthless money. All you got to do is go to the government's website and see how much they print the money. So like this. So I'm gonna give you an example, okay? Go see how much they print $100 bill for. Okay. It's like 8 cents, something like that. 8 cents. Okay. Now say like you decided you're gonna go do a drug deal for $100, but if you get caught, you can get 5 years for it. Over $100 deal. Okay. Now you go look and see how much they print $100 bill for. Now, in reality, if you get caught, You just lost 5 years of your life for 8.6 cents. Not $100, 8 cents. Does that seem like a fair trade? Not at all. I wouldn't do that. Instead, I would figure out why I'm willing to risk the time of my life for 8 cents. That's what you got to, that's how you got to look at it. You guys just don't understand. Paper's just in the way right now. It really is just in the way. It's just in the way. I'm sure this switching over is top priority to get this digitized. Probably all the countries are just waiting to see who's going to do it first. who's who's going to do it first? When reality, it's already happening now, right? What you guys don't see, death slave, it's just like the Wild West right now. Everybody, hey, I'm doing it, making up coins and doing this and that and blah, blah, blah. Once our country makes up in mind that we're going to do it, all that's going to be removed. You guys understand that? All that stops. This is just my opinion, okay? This is just how I see it. I'm sure it was the same when dollar bills was first implemented across the United States. I'm sure everybody just didn't jump on board. And how'd they start it? How'd it start? I don't know. I'm sure it's similar to what's happening right now. Do the test, let everybody do their digital whatever, right? See the pros and the cons, eliminate the holes, same thing. And then once it's ready, they're just going to say, hey, by the way, we're using this. Everything else stops. If you use anything else outside this, you go to prison. No different than dollar bills right now. If you try to print your own money and say, I'm going to use this as money here, you go to prison. Same thing. It just is what it is. This is where I live. That's what it is. Yeah, more than 7 years indicates a serious problem. Agreed. But those are best case scenarios, Andre. That's all I'm saying. Usually means they finance too much house for sure. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, there you go. Good. Yeah, you're right about that for sure. What's up, Sherigan? Once you understand, once you realize, those of you guys that are in student loan debt and okay, do this. Let me do this. First I'm gonna talk to the ones that have given up on ever paying them off. Okay. You just think you're gonna die with them. You guys say this stuff openly. Oh, I'm gonna die with debt. I'm gonna die with my student loan debt. They ain't getting no money back. It is what it is. One of those forever bills. They're like hey, whatever you want to say to convince yourself to make you feel good about dying as a debt slave. That's what you're really saying. You've given up. You've given up on ever owning yourself. Now, your age in this situation, your age does matter. Because when you get up there, you get up there my age, and you have about $200,000, $100,000, $200,000 in student loan debt, and you barely making $30,000, $40,000 a year, I could see how that can make you feel. But anything's possible. Anything. This is America. You can create your own business. You can create a successful business and pay off that debt in a year, 2 years. It counts on how bad you want to feel freedom. Because if you've never felt it, I can't explain it to you. Stress is not part of life. Payments are not part of life. I can only imagine how many payments you guys have now in this new generation of apps, of being subscriptions. You guys can't keep up with all them subscriptions. There is no way. you could do that. You guys don't even know what you're subscribed to half the time. Attach it to a credit card or a debit card and forget about it. Stuff coming out all the time. Is that you? Have you given up on ever paying them off? Just said, hey, screw it, this is too much. I'm gonna live my life. I'm gonna be happy or whatever. Those are just sayings. No matter where you go, the student loans go with you. Always tuned in. Oh my God, what's the president going to say? Is he going to forgive? What are the judges going to, what's the Supreme Court going to do? That all you got to do is pay them off and you won't care what they have to say. It's crazy, man. Crazy. Every day says just like Caleb Hammer, who makes 6 figures a month. Let me, and I love you guys bringing that up because I want you guys to understand something, okay? When something doesn't make sense, CENTS, it's usually not true. This is what Mr. Hammer and all debt slaves do this. Debt slaves believe they can invest while having student loan debt when that is 100% mathematically impossible. 100%. So that's how you know when you hear somebody talk, hey, instead of paying off my student loan debt, I did this and that and this and that. So they're saying what they're saying is that instead of paying off my student loan debt, I decided to go against the laws of mathematics. That's what they're saying. You don't listen to people like that. He's making fun of people just like himself. And hey, listen, I don't care what he does. That's business. It's as long as what he's doing is legal, I really don't care. I really do mean that. Congratulations to his success. I just don't listen to him because he's not talking to me. He's talking to debt slaves. It's bananas. Like you can refuse. You can't refuse to pay it off. That's the laws of mathematics. I think I can already see the effects of the student loan payments return. Yeah, that's already, you guys got to understand this. And it's a hard fact to hear, okay? Those people are debt slaves. They only can get themselves out. They're there by choice because they're choosing not to pay off their student loan debts. Nothing more than that. They're not getting out. They're never going to free them, ever. Ever. They are owned. You know how many? That's 44 million owned debt slaves. 44 million. High taxable income is a problem. High taxable income. If they're in debt. Correct? Is that what you're saying, Andre? But we need them. High taxable debt. Because you got to remember, like, when the more you make and the deeper in debt you are the best kind of debt slave to the system because you cannot reduce your tax bracket. You can't. So say like you make 300,000. Let's go to the doctors. Doctors, say like you make $350,000, but you're triple that in debt. Did you know you cannot reduce your tax bracket at all because you have no money to do so? Now I know you're thinking, well, my tax person says I am. I'm just talking about math, okay? I don't really care what your tax person says because they're doing their job. I'm not saying they're doing their job wrong. I'm just telling you mathematically, you can't do that. Everybody doesn't know what I'm telling you. That's why your tax person probably thinks that they can. But if they if your tax person say like you did come across a tax professional that does understand what I'm saying, okay? And they decided to tell everybody, hey, you can't do that. They would never have any business and they would be out of business. They'd probably reserve that information for their special clients. You guys got to understand something. None of this works without you, debt slaves. None of it. I like to use this example. You hook up a battery, you hook up the negative side. Would you wonder why and you only hooked up the negative side? Would you wonder why the car's not starting? And you got out the car, unhooked the negative, and just hooked up the positive side, got back in the car. Would you wonder why the car's not starting? They both have to be hooked up, both of them, for the car to start. Those of us on the positive side, we know that. We know we need you, and you need us. You just don't know it. What's up, Gabriel? There's a lot of politicians who have student loans. That's amazing to me. That blows my mind. That listen, when I heard that, that was absolutely mind blowing. When I heard that a politician with student loan debt, they don't know. They don't know. And they probably got some special plans for politicians and student loan debt, unlike the regular people. Hey, if you do this and do some servant time, or because that's a public office. So they probably got some special student loan plan. They probably don't even use it. Nah, I'm getting my house. I've been in school long enough. I've been doing all this stuff for years to get to this position. I'm going to live. Just like debt slaves, it don't matter. The ignorant are concerned with how much they make. The knowledgeable are concerned with how much they keep. Exactly. And I know you high earners making $300,000-$400,000 deep in debt. You hear me, and when I say reduce your tax bracket, I'm talking personally. Okay, make sure there's a difference. I'm talking about personal debt only. If you're making $300,000 a year and you triple that in debt, you cannot reduce your tax bracket. So wherever you are, you have to pay it. You got no choice. At first, when I first started looking at tax, let me tell you how I came across tax brackets. Okay. Because I was just like, remember, I was a debt slave once. So when I heard somebody talk about tax brackets, I always assumed that meant you're talking to somebody rich. Oh, only the rich have to worry about tax brackets. No, that's it. There is nowhere that says that. Tax brackets for the rich. Find it. The next time you hear somebody say that, you say, hey man, where's the link on that? Where'd you find that information? I first learned it when I finally got a raise. I went from like 110 to 160 one time. That's like 50 G's. Okay. Do you know how excited I was to see that first check? I was like, oh, I can't wait to see that check. I was like, oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait. And then when that check came, guess what? It was less than the check I got before the raise. It was less than that check. Sure was. I was like, what? Now, mind you, I'm debt free at this time. Okay. I want you guys, and that's a key point. I want you guys to understand. I was debt free at this particular moment. I was like, how is that possible? Why is my check low? I got a raise, but it's less than the last check. And then that's when I understood tax brackets. But guess what? Since I was debt free, I could do something about it. And guess what I did? For the first time in my life, I maxed out my 401k at work. 20,000. Guess what that did? Brought me down in my tax bracket. Why? Because I had 20,000 to put into a 401k because I had no debt. See how that worked? So now after I did that, guess what? I got my check and it was more than the last check. But you got to remember, Sherigan, I did something. Now, I want you guys to understand something. At the time I did this, I didn't know what I was doing. Okay. I didn't know why. I saw that. I said, oh, if I just max out my 20,000 and it'll bring me down my tax bracket. Okay. That's what I'm going to do. And that's what I did. Right. And when I went to the HR, when I went into my account at HR, was online, so I could just go in there, adjust my 401k, put it to where I wanted. I put it all the way to the max. HR called me. They said, hey, Mr. Young. I was like, yeah. They said, we were calling. We noticed that you moved your bar all the way up. Do you know how much money is going to come out of each check if you do that? I said, yeah. They're like, okay, we were just calling to double check, make sure you didn't make a mistake. I was like, no, I didn't. I was like, no, I didn't make a mistake. No, not at all. Okay. And then I hung up. I thought that was weird. I'm like, why would they? Okay, whatever. Maybe they call on people on mistakes. What I didn't realize is this. I didn't realize the percentage of people in a company that max out a 401k got to be like 1%, if that. What you think, Andre? I mean, it counts on the percentage, how big the company is, but the percentage of people that max out a $20,000 401k got to be small to none. Because the majority of people at jobs are there because they have to be there, not because they want to be there. They have to be there. If they have to be there, it's because they're in debt. And if they're in debt, they don't have no money to max out a 401k, but I didn't realize that till now. That's why I was wondering, like when I was leaving, I was like, why does the CEO of the company want to talk to me before I leave? I put in my 2 weeks. He wants to talk. I'm like, why does he want to talk to me? Because he probably got a bonus or something from me. Hey man, it counts on how many people max out. They try to push people to get to their 401k. And here's this one person maxing out 20 grand. He probably wanted to see who in the company does that. Hell, probably even himself. How did this regular worker do that? Because I have no debt? I mean, do they? Andre, I'm assuming that companies get tax breaks when they push 401k retirement plans. And here I am dropping 20. Wow, 1.01%. I guess that was like a spotlight on me. Okay. You know what? Thank you, Andre. You're right. Because he did ask me those questions. He was like, so where you going? I hope they treat you right. I was like, what? Why am I here? Because this is how crazy it was. The day I was leaving, they were having a board meeting. The members are on the sides of the tables. He was at the head, but when I walked in, he put me at the head and he went to the end and asked me these questions. I'm like, I'm thinking in my head the whole time, why am I here? And the people on the side of the table, they were looking at me too. Why is he here? We barely talked. You helped the C-suite with their non-discrimination rules, actually. It all counts. And so crazy, when I got into the computer industry back in, this was late 90s. Now, it wasn't many black people in IT back then. Okay, not really too many black people. A lot of white people, Asians, a lot of Indians now. I met a lot of Indians, East Indians, yeah. And I said to myself, I'm going to use the fact that there are very few black people in IT. So if this new stuff about discrimination gives me pluses to get in, I'm going to use it. That's what I said to myself. I'm going to just use it. I'm going to use it. but I'm just going to be good when I do it. And that's what I did. Yes, there is no FICA, food, workman's comp on company on, workman's comp on company match. Gotcha. Oh, wow. Oh, this is business. I know it's all pluses for business. I get it. And I'm not, I figure like this. When I got out of debt and I still had a job, you guys gotta understand I didn't know this. Okay. I didn't know when I first got out of debt, but I did notice the change when I got out of debt and had a job, right? I noticed that I didn't really accept, like, this is one thing I used to hate. Okay. I used to hate when a manager would schedule a meeting with me and be late. I used to not stand that. Hey, okay, 10 o'clock meeting with the manager, and then they coming in 10, 15 minutes late. And like, you just what can you do? They're your manager, right? And you just gotta suck it up and say, hey man, you required me to be here on time. You never here on time, right? I remember one time when I was debt free, that had happened again. Okay. It wasn't just the first time, it was several times. I talked to him. I said, hey, I got to talk to you about something. I said, hey, so I said, if the meeting is 10 o'clock, should I start showing up at 10:15 because you keep showing up at 10:15? And he was shocked. He was like, now I didn't say it rude. I said it professionally because I just got tired of that. I just didn't want to, because I'm scheduling my whole day and stuff, but around this, and now, because their time is messed up. Because you got to remember, if the manager is awful with their time scheduling, right? That means it's going to affect you. They're pushing their stuff on you. That's going to affect your. I didn't allow that when I became debt free. So used to start speaking up for myself. One big thing I noticed too is, like, at this particular time, there was an on call, right? You had an on call and then you switched with different people every month. But I noticed I used to get calls even when I wasn't on call in the middle of the night, because I knew something that nobody else did. So I used to always say to myself, back then, I used to say, if I'm the only one that knows it and something happens to it, I'm going to get called even when I'm not on call. So that means, guess what? I got to keep the phone with me all the time. They own 24 hours of my life. I would never in a million years allow that today, ever. Never. I would never allow that today. They own 24 hours of my life. All because of what? I was in debt. In meetings, the manager would say certain things in meetings, and then they say, oh, okay, we'll talk about it next week. I would write it down, because usually the next week would come, they'd be on a whole different subject, not finishing up what they said they was going to finish, what happened, nothing. So I would write it all down, and I would raise my hand and answer all these questions. Hey man, last week you guys said this, that, this, and that. What happened? What we're going to do? Da-da-da-da. And then when people around me noticed that, guess what they started doing? They start, just before the meeting, they would give me all the questions. Hey, LJ, can you ask this question? Because they were too scared to ask the managers questions at a job, because they didn't want to get on the bad side of a manager. And to me, when I was debt free, if a manager came in with a bad attitude from something from home, or think they can just come in and talk, I used to pull them to the side. Hey, can I talk to you? Can I talk to you? Yeah. I didn't like the way you talked to me right there. Can you not do that? Because this is just as I'm not your child. I didn't say that part to him, but I'm thinking to myself, you got to set, what people don't understand, and this is a lot of Sixth Sense channel, okay? You got to set boundaries everywhere you go. Boundaries. Now, the reason why you probably don't set boundaries at work between coworkers and bosses is because you're in debt and they know it. That's why they talk to you the way they do. But when you have a job and no debt, You will set boundaries. Hey, yeah, Bob, yeah, don't talk to me like that, especially in public, in front of people. Don't do that. What are you going to do? I'm going to quit if you keep doing that. That's what I'm going to do. What do you think? I'm going to beat you up? I'm going to quit the job. I sure was. They fucked up. Should have made you. No, I was at that time, Andre. I was ready to go. There was no stopping me from leaving there. I was ready to go. That is why they are pushing the automatic enrollment. Yep. To make sure they pass the 401k audit. Ah, gotcha. To keep it, to keep that status. Got it. Oh yeah, my contribution probably pushed them all. Oh, got it. That makes sense now. When I dropped that full 401k, that probably pushed them over like, oh, congratulations. He pushed us over the top. That's all we needed. Because I'm sure it's probably a contribution amount that's required for them to get this tax deductible break or whatever the agreement is. Oh, that makes sense. Wow. Now that makes sense. Wow. Man, this 6 channel is going to be, you guys don't even understand. I'm going to be able to, I'm going to be able to help so many people. But I'm just telling you now, it's not going to be free because it's a total waste of time to be free. Total waste, total waste, total waste. I'm going to just tell you that right now. That's how much it's worth. This information is mind blowing. This information is going to be mind blowing. How do I know that? Because it blows my mind every day. Every day that goes by, my mind is blown even more. I'm like, what? That was there the whole time? Yes. Yes, LJ, it was there. Yes. Man, you guys don't get it. My life is just totally different. Totally different. Totally different. But I'm thankful. I'm thankful for how let me put it this way. In my life, when I set my mind to something, that's it. There's no undoing that once I set my mind to something. Now, I didn't know that was a blessing. I didn't know that. I just like, once I make up my mind, that's it. I don't care. That's it. I've always known this in my entire life. And I've always known that every time I achieve something, it was always a reward for me on the other side of it. And 6 cents is my reward for what I've achieved. I remember when I was young, I had a regular job, labor job, whatever. And I just said, you know what? I don't want to be using my body all the time. I want to use my brain. So I thought to myself, what could I do? Computers. I said, computers is not going anywhere. Computers are not going anywhere anytime soon. So I think it'd be smart to do that. And that's what I did. Got into computers, started understanding the language because it is an entirely different language. It is. When you start talking about uh, space and gigabytes, megabytes, and all this other stuff, it's a whole different language. And then once I got in there, I said, okay, what is it like to make, a high 5-figure salary? I want to know what it feels like to make 80,000 a year. So that's what I put it in my mind. And then I achieved it. And then once I got there, I said, what is it like to make 6 figures? And then I achieved it. The only thing I was doing wrong was going in debt at the same time, but that's not the point of this story. Then I achieved it. And then once I got there, once I made the 160, I was like, now what? Now what? This was the unknown territory. Now what? Do I just continue on going to work every day until I retire and then I enjoy life? Or I figure out something that I'm not seeing, which I'm on the other side now that I'm telling you right now that I didn't see it until I had to do it. First, I had to get out of debt. Once I got out of debt, I noticed how free I was. I was like, what? I am so stressed. I'm stress free and I don't have no debt and blah, blah, blah. And then, like, what's next? And then all of a sudden, the next thing that happened, I was going to work. I felt like a caged animal for 8 hours. I started saying to myself, I started paying attention to how long it took me to drive to work in the traffic, how long I had to stay in the building until I left. And so when I would go to work, I'd pay attention to that, and I would go to work. I'm like, damn, how long is I gotta be in here for 4 hours before I can take my lunch? Yep. All right. And then I would go to lunch, and then I would take my hour lunch. Wish I didn't have to go back. It started getting worse and worse and worse until one day I said I just had to quit. I can't explain that part to you, but I just had to quit. I had to, because I kept going to work thinking I got to be in this building all day, 8 to 10 hours every single day, 5 days a week. Watch the sun come up as I drive to work. Watch the sun go down as I leave work. Only see the sun during lunchtime and through windows. I said, nah, I quit. What you gonna do? I don't know. Now I'm on a complete other. You know how hard it was to quit a perfectly good six-figure job? To quit with no plan, no backup plan, nothing. Just what you gonna do? I don't know. To be here on the mic talking to you guys about it now. That you guys don't even see what's coming on January 1st. The Sixth Sense channel. I made the right move for sure. And still do today. That's how the birth of this new channel happened. I just learned something that I didn't know before until now. You guys don't even understand. I didn't understand. All because I believed in myself. You guys hear the way I speak. You guys hear the tone of my voice. When I say, hey, man, it's a matter of time before Warren Buffett hears me. All they got to do is listen to me. They will know right away. I promise you guys. You guys don't. I know you guys don't believe that, but all they got to do is hear me once, and they will know that I know. Now, I'm not here to tell you guys, oh man, I'm better than you, and this. I'm here to help you come across over here to the positive side and enjoy it as well. There's plenty of room for everybody. Let me explain to you what it's like to be on the positive side of the economy with people like positive people. Over here, nobody steals your money. Nobody's here to scam you, financially scam you. Nobody's here to step on you and want to know about your money so they can figure out how to steal from you. None of that happens here. Everybody here wants you to be the best you can be. That's what we do here. You don't have to worry about anybody trying to do something behind your back, trying to take your money financially or do something to do negative and money. That doesn't exist here. Now, if you're in the debt matrix, everybody's trying to do that there. That's that perspective. I want you guys to understand something. That is a perspective. You don't have to live in that perspective. Now, there are people that will keep you there if you let them keep you there, but you don't have to live there. You can say, I'm not living there no more. Now, you come to this channel for the first time. The first thing you do, listen, and it's automatic. The first thing you do is look for the amount of subscribers. You got to ask yourself, what does that mean when you see somebody that has 1 million subscribers? What does that mean? Do you automatically think the person is good, or whatever? It all counts on the type of content that you're looking at. Now, if you go to a channel and it has uh, uh, millions of subscribers and all he's doing is crazy, funny stuff, that's entertainment. Okay, what? Unless you're going to be an entertainer, don't compare yourself to a person like that. I don't listen. I haven't found one channel to compare my channel to on YouTube, and I be looking. I be like, who is close to doing content like me? I haven't found nobody. You come to my channel, you go into the comments under videos, you don't really hear negative comments. You don't really people talking crazy because they don't understand it. That's why. First, you got to understand it to respond. The worst I've gotten, oh, you're crazy, you're dumb, you're so smart, or something, just but that's about it. Okay. I don't really respond to stuff like that. I don't really care. Gabe, it's way higher than that. Most of the wealth is non-reportable. You think they understand what you just said, Andre? Not. Tell you the truth, debt slaves, you guys are the currency. You. It's you. Money doesn't exist for you in any form. Not even, listen, not even the natural resources that come from Earth. They don't even exist for you. What about him, Sherigan? What do you mean? What about Dave Ramsey? What's that mean? You're probably thinking, LJ, what do you mean money doesn't exist for me? What do you mean, LJ? You're crazy. Hold $100 in your hand and open up the calculator app with the other and put in 100 minus your car payment and hit equal. According to the calculator, do you have $100 in your hand? That's what I mean. Do you get it? Oh, I see what you. No, he's not. Oh, okay. Well, I guess the word close is good. You're right, close. You're right, it's close. You know let me tell you, this is a feeling about Dave Ramsey. Okay, he is a man. I don't know for a fact, but I can hear by the way he talks. But what I'm about to say is obviously true. That he has no personal debt, and he sounds like he owns no debt with his business either. There are very few people in the United States that can say that. Okay. So for a man you guys don't really get it. Here's a man making millions of dollars with absolutely no debt in personally or business. That is hands down absolutely amazing. Okay. He, I feel he has to know capitalism is psychological. He has to. He has to. But you got to remember, he has to be in order for you to make money, you can't really talk a certain way because you gotta, if somebody says like this, well, Dave, well, you telling me to go save for retire, put 15% into retirement while having a mortgage, Dave, you can't do that mathematically, right? He would have to say yes. Like, okay, of course, mathematically, since you put it that way, yes, like you can't do that. Then why are you having me go do that? Because it's business. It's nothing personal. It's just business. I understand why. Because you wouldn't make any money. Because without debt slaves, you can't listen. If you open a business, it's a business to make money. Who are going to be the majority of your people? Debt slaves. It counts on what you're selling, right? It counts on what, but that's what it is. It just it really doesn't matter, but I get it because you can't save 15% of your retirement while having a mortgage. So why is that there? That's called business. As soon as you see something that's not mathematically true, that means it's business. Exactly. No different. No difference between debt and, and mutual funds. when I put it this way, when I signed up for my 401k at my job, I didn't go and look and see what they invested in and, what they do with it and I just like, okay, this is what we do. It's in Vanguard. They did this. And then they send me statements. But that as far as I went, I didn't go no further. Mm. Mm. Obvious narcissism cycle. Interesting. Hmm. Now you saying that about who? Mr. Ramsey? Really? I don't know if you're saying that, but oh wait, okay, wait. Dave Ramsey is using religion. Oh, I didn't read this first part. Dave Ramsey is using it to make money. Oh. Using religion. Okay, I'm thinking about this, Andre. Using religion to make money off his clients. I don't know. I mean, yes. I mean, yes. Okay, I see what you're saying. Now you added Denzel in there. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, what can I say? I can't say nothing. Yeah, but okay, but it's not wrong, or is it? I don't know. It's not. It's not illegal. Let them speak. They always tell themselves. I mean, it's business though, right, Andre? It's business. I mean, I get it. What is the Federal Reserve doing? Why are they raising interest rates? Put it this way, Sherrigan. The only people that really care about that, like that respond negatively about why are they are raising interest rates, are people that borrow money. Okay. Now, if you are on the other side, on the positive side, and you made more money because they were raising interest rates, you wouldn't really care. You would be happy that they are, or however that works, or whatever. I don't know, but if you are on the other side of it, you wouldn't be. It counts on how you're, because the way you're asking that question, what is the Federal Reserve doing? Why are they? Well, always know when they do something, it's for a reason. Yeah, I mean Denzel. I popped over to Denzel's every now and then just to see how he's doing, and he seems to be doing very well, doing the same thing, adding in God and stuff like that to money, and when one doesn't have nothing to do with the other, but they do what they do. You know, that's where honestly, Andre, that's where I know where to stop, and when it comes to religion, I stop there. And when I say stop, I don't really get into the hey, if you're in debt, you can't really do something, something, something. You can't really contribute to something, something, something. I just like, I'm gonna just leave that alone, whatever. Positive compound interest versus negative. You are exactly right, Gabriel. Correct. If they raised interest and you're getting positive compound interest, you are going to be excited about that. And preparing the way for the next generation of Blake Henrys. Now I got to go look that up. I don't know what that means, but if Andre said it, it must mean something. So I got to look that up. It's like now, since I'm at this new perspective in life, I really I can't really tolerate just when you hear, put it this way, when you hear slang words and gossip, when they talk about money, it's just, you guys don't really understand what that means when you hear somebody using You guys just don't understand what that means. It's like, you got to understand, when you hear somebody using slang words, using mathematics, you got to ask yourself, why are you using slang words with mathematics? Oh, higher earner, not rich yet. Okay. Blake, all these terms. I was just talking about terms. I know, and here, let me give you something that happens. This is what happens immediately when you own yourself, okay? The time in your life becomes the top priority, and you no longer let people waste it. When you look at the time in your life, like, you really realize, when you own yourself, you really start to realize that your time here on earth is limited. You really understand that, right? You take it differently, and then the people that don't manage their time, the time in their life correct, they try to push it on you, make it seem like something's wrong with you if you always want to be on time. Oh, you always want to be on time. You always want to leave early. You want to leave 2 hours early. They always try to switch it up on you because they always are late. You got to be somewhere and like to leave 10 minutes beforehand and then get mad at the traffic. You ever come across people like that? Run late and then get out on the road, start complaining about traffic. Oh, why they're moving so slow? No, you're moving too fast. You got to be careful of that too. So I pay close attention to that. So when I get, and I've noticed this a lot. I've been noticing a lot. Sometimes people will ask me to come on a show or do something. It's more than just one person, right? Bad communication. You guys, when I invite somebody, I send a link about an hour early. I come on about 30 minutes before so they can come in to do some testing. It just make this is all you got to do. Go to shows. This is all you have to do. And I know you guys have experienced this. You might have a favorite channel you go to and they never start on time. That should tell you that how they organize the time in their life. If they don't even listen, if they don't even come on time to a show that they are in full control of, that tells you how they manage the time in their life. That tells you exactly what that is. One of the HR reps at my workplace bragged about being able to legally pull from her 401k due to her age. Oh, okay. And she used it to put down payment on a house. Yep, yep. They allow you to do that. I think they allow up to like 50% of your 401k to put down on a house, I believe. Some crazy, stupid number. You notice they stop you. They stop you because they don't want you to interrupt their quota to make sure they can keep that 401k. Fed has to bring the value of financial assets down so that the next generation can acquire for pennies on the dollar. Right. When you see them raise when you see them raise interest rates, that means they want to lower the amount of people that can borrow. That brings down borrowing because it's too expensive for you guys. And then if they want you to borrow, they just drop the interest rates. That's how it works. So that's what that means, okay? For you guys, for debt slaves. The war will push the weak hands out of position. What war? You mean the war going on over there right now, or what are you talking about? Tinfoil hat, member for 9 months. Wow, the butterfly cocoon video helped me out a lot. Thanks, LJ and S&D fan. You are welcome. That's a good one. And you guys are going to be hearing more about that, man, because I was in a cocoon for sure, without a doubt. The way my wings are spread right now, they were just being restricted. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah, okay. The war everywhere. Okay. I understand that now. All right. I was just making sure I was clear. That's all. Just making sure I was clear of which war we're talking about. Which type of war we're talking about. Yeah, okay. They will transfer the wealth of the 401k holders to them. Mm. Yes, it is. Offer them forgiveness if they join them. Mm. Oh man, wow, they would join in a heartbeat too. You better believe that. And you gotta remember the people that they're talking to, Andre, are the young ones with probably barely any student loan debt. Hey, we'll forgive your $30,000 if you join. Sure, sign right up. Wow. That's nothing for you guys. They're too old to join the service. You guys are stuck. Mm. That is absolutely just. I'm just happy I have a seat in the stadium. Now, when you guys hear me talk like that, I want you guys to understand something. When I pause, I'm just amazed to see it work. To know that mm, how amazing the mind can be. I mean, it's already. I mean, we don't think about it today. I mean, we pick up a phone, talking on video anywhere we're at. We don't really understand that stuff is passing through air. It's coming out of your phone into the air and doing something. We totally forget that. Our voice is put into a phone, broken apart, thrown in the air in bits and bytes, and sounds exactly the same on the other end where it's coming out of. We totally forget that. That's just absolutely amazing. I think about that stuff all the time now, all the time. I know I own nothing. I own I own no form of communication that I use. None. Zero. My phone, email, nothing but my voice. That's the only thing I own. But to transfer this voice to reach you guys, I own nothing. Yeah, I pay a phone bill. Yeah, but I don't own the service. I use the service. A recession's happening right now, Sheridan. What are you talking about? Have you seen the buy now? Look and see. Have you seen how much buy now pay later services are making money? Have you noticed that buy now pay later services are attached to every single big business in the United States of America? Why do you think that is? Because we're in it. If you if you see millions of people financing shirts, that means we're in a recession. If people are financing shoes, we're in a recession. That's what that means. I'm not sure. Okay, tell me this. I guess the better question is this, Sheridan. Why do you think we're not in a recession right now? And what makes you think the consumer is still strong? Tell me that. Because what I see buy now, pay later companies attached to every single large business here in the United States of America. So why are they attached? Why are buy now, pay later services even making money? How are they doing that? Because if the if the consumer is strong, they can pay for a shirt in cash. They can buy shoes in cash. I totally understand that part. Totally understand that. Any questions? Any thoughts on the upcoming potential government shutdown? How do you think it will affect those in the debt matrix and those outside of it? I didn't know. I didn't know there was a government shutdown. I don't. You guys got to fill me in because I don't watch the news. I really don't. I don't watch none of it. So you guys got to fill me in. Is there something coming up or something? Remember, inventory has no say. That's true. People still financing overpriced vehicles. Well, you got to remember, Sherigan, the key word is financing. Okay, so that means they have no money to buy. So you can't really look at people that will listen. Like if you really listen to what you're saying, people who finance vehicles for more than what they're worth, only debt slaves do that. If say like the car is normally $30,000, but they overpriced it to $40,000, and then a person comes up knowing that the car is overpriced, but they finance it anyway. That's a debt slave. Because you got to remember, the normal price of the car is 30,000. Let's in this example. They jack it up 10. So now you got to pay taxes on 40,000 on a car that's worth 30. And then you finance it. So not only do you finance the car, you finance the $10,000 extra and the $10,000 of taxes on top of that. That means those are debt slaves doing that kind of stuff. Nobody that on the positive side would ever do that in a million years. They wouldn't even finance a car at all, let alone an overpriced car. Correct. That's how it must be. Guess there might be a government shutdown by September. Interesting. Well, we're in September. What do you mean? And what's the date today? It's 24th. Sure do. Commission fees, all the fees they throw in there. You guys financing it all. Only debt slaves do that. All your base are belong. What are you saying there, Andre? All your base are belong to us. It's absolutely beautiful. When you come to the positive side, listen. Like, okay, let's go like the stock market. Okay. I now understand that the stock market is you guys, debt slaves. It's you. You're the stock market. Did you guys know the stock market couldn't exist without you? Who are you? You guys are margin. People who borrow money to invest. That's called debt slaves. Debt slaves do that. Without margin, the stock market wouldn't exist because you guys have to play. They got to let you guys in somehow. So that's how I look at it. I just look, hey, okay, The Feds raise interest rates. So now, as soon as I hear that, I look at you guys. Okay, how are you guys going to respond? Start complaining that you can't borrow money and all this other stuff. What are you guys going to do? Nothing. This is all lining up. It looks like UBI to me. That's just my opinion. It looks like everything's lining up to be UBI because I don't know what you got when those student loan payments start. I don't know what you guys are going to do, but you got to remember, it still affects everything and everybody. So they have to be careful introducing that. They can keep pushing it and pushing and pushing it because you guys won't care. You guys will just be happy that you're not paying it till one day you have to. And maybe they're just going to let it go right at the right time. Something's going to happen somewhere where you guys can be able to afford to do it or something. I don't know. Because here's an example. Say like they decided to make your payments start mandatory on October the 1st. Mandatory. You got to make the payments. Mandatory. There goes Halloween. There goes Thanksgiving. There goes Christmas. You guys won't have no money for none of that. So they can't do that now. Right now, that would affect too many businesses that depend on those holidays. Do you guys get it? How about we bring it back during tax time? So you guys they can snatch the income tax check, or you guys will pay it with that money. I get it, totally understand it. That's why when tax time come, car dealerships, hey, come here. We can do your taxes here because they know if you do it there, you're going to spend your money there. If you're getting your taxes done at a used car lot, you're there because you're going to spend your money there. There would be no reason why you would get your taxes done at a used car lot. You know people who do that? People that don't know get their taxes done at a used car lot. But that's called business. I'm not hating on the businesses that do that. You see, they said NFTs and cryptocurrency is pretty much dead. To me, I've always known that it was only a matter of time before that stuff is gone because once the U.S. cryptocurrency comes out, that is removed. That stops. No different than paper money today. Have you noticed? No other kind of paper money can be used in the United States of America. It's going to be the same thing. Crypto is another part of the system. It must be this way. Sure is. It's part of the system for sure. Learn to play. Hey, listen, Andre, they never finished that statement. Never hate the player or the game. Learn to play. They be messing up that statement. Don't hate the player, hate the game. No, don't hate the player or the game. Still in that, by the way. Low down, dirty PCA. Oh man, I'm excited, man. You guys just don't even get it, man. I am so excited about the next few months of my life, the beginning of the brand new year. You guys don't understand what this year means to me. It means everything. I earned it too, man. I earned next year. I earned it. I'm excited. With this newfound gift, I'm going to be able to finally connect with millions of people. Finally, the piece I needed to connect with millions of people, I finally found it. It's beautiful. Still doing SMD. You guys have no idea what SMD channel did for me during these last few years of my life. SMD was my outlet. SMD was my go-to. SMD was my, that's why you guys saw me putting out so many videos, man. I got I got almost 1,600 videos. Oh, and it's not. Let me put that in my thing right now. Let me update. Let me do that right now. Let me make note of that. Update my passport because it sure is expired for sure. I got a lot of things on my list, man. But I'm definitely going to put that on my list right now. I'm going to put it at the top. Update passport. I will get that going right now while it's no rush. Take your time. It's so crazy too with passports. If you've never gotten one, man, they they last every 10 years. And when that first one expires, you're like, it's been 10 years already? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like 8, 18, 28. Is mine current? No, mine's just expired. I gotta do that. Go to Belize. Call me call me when you're there. Okay. All right. Whatever, man. Whatever. Call me when you're there. Time to go international. I can feel it. I can feel it. First, it's got to be, well, can you go straight to international? Can you go? Because I'm thinking this is the pattern in my mind. I'm thinking all of the U.S., United States of America, and then the world, right? I'm assuming that it goes in that. I'm assuming that people have to know me here first, and then they will share as I expand. But I don't know. I've never went from nothing to the world. Maybe I need to look up a few people that have. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Got it. Understood. Understood. Uh-oh. Hmm. Interesting. All righty. All righty. I'm excited. Let me tell you something. I'm 53 right now. I am in one of the best places in my life right now. I am I'm just going to explain it all in the sixth sense. I'm really you guys are the people that that are going to want to know about this next perspective. I don't even like calling it levels because it's not a level thing. It's a perspective thing. This is how it happens for me. When you move to a different perspective, there are going to be people there already there. Okay. These people that are already there, they will know when you get there by the way you talk, by the way you speak, right? But these people don't necessarily know more than you overall. They might know more than you in particular areas or dimension. Okay, that's better. Dimension. They might know more in this particular dimension because you might reach that level and know more than them in certain other areas. And then you guys, but since you're on that same level, both of your minds are open enough to accept that. That's the best way I can describe it, right? The person that is delivering the message to you, they might have a certain style, but they're delivering it to you because they want to share it with you. And that's just the way they deliver it, and vice versa. It all counts on what you're doing, but it doesn't matter because your mind is open enough to know that. It's like if they're opening their mouth to tell me about something, it's worth listening to because we're at this same dimension, perspective, you know. So debt is good as long as it is not personal debt. Debt is not good or bad. Debt is just debt. But debt works differently in business versus personal. Do not have any debt personally. Okay. No debt. That's what you can see. Even though I just said it's not good or bad, that's what I would say. If anything, bad would be that personal debt. Okay. But debt is just a tool. Okay. It is used differently in business. That's all. Yeah, level implies superiority. Dimension is a state of being. Correct. That's why, yeah, and you're right. I used to always, every time I was starting hearing levels, I was like, I got to get away from that because I don't want people thinking I'm saying, oh, I'm on a higher level than you. But now I get, and I'm gonna be interchanging. I probably like the word dimension. I probably use that more in the sixth sense, but on out in the S&D, I probably use the word perspective, right? People can come closer to understanding what I'm meaning uh when I use the word perspective, right? Personal debt is fine if you own it. If you own it. Or okay, if you own it, if it doesn't own you. Got it. Okay, got it. True. That is true. Man, this it's the best way I can describe what this next dimension in my life, perspective of my life, I didn't see it. I saw it, but I didn't see it. It's weird because I don't want you thinking that I don't know. It's hard when when things come into focus, it's usually right in your face the whole entire time. That's the way I can just that's the best way I can describe it to you. It's always it was always there, but I was just choosing not to look at it or see it. It was just happening, and I don't know. That's how powerful it is. It's a psychological thing. Correct. That's how simple it is. Like right now, with this information, I'm gonna give you guys a clear example right now. What I could do, what I plan on doing with this information, with my new perspective. I plan on trying to get into these I have a perspective of when it comes to dating and relationships and stuff like that. I have a perspective that the majority of the people have never heard, man or woman. They're gonna be like, I never looked at it that way. I never saw it that way. Me neither. I didn't know that at first until now. It's gonna be blowing people away. Sort of just like not sort of, but just like when they and I don't really get invited on money panels no more. Have you guys noticed that? It just doesn't happen, right? But you notice the ones I got back in the days where I used to argue with debt slaves. I mean, I wouldn't do that stuff no more. I had to go through that and learn all that, what I would do and not do. But they can't really get around math. They can try, they're always going to try, but this will be the same way what I'm going to show you guys over here about it starts with you. Everything started when I think about my life right now, it all came back to me. Okay, I'm trying to describe this stuff. All I had to do was just concentrate on me first, personally. Then the outside world would have been a piece of cake. Especially when it comes to relationships. All I had to do was concentrate on myself first. It all started at home. That's where it all started at. Literally, for sure. Debt will stress you out and put you in an early grave from stress. Sure will. That's probably you right now, stressed out. Stressed because you're not gonna have enough money to pay the rent. You got to make a decision to get some gas or buy some food. That's all very stressful. And you got kids, school clothes coming up. You see all this. Oh, hey, 50% off of school clothes. And you're thinking, damn, I can't even go buy no school clothes. I ain't got no money. Additional stress. And then it happens. This is every day. A lot of people live with this every single day. And then guess what? You adjust yourself to the stress to where you think it's natural to be stressed all the time. Mm. And let me tell you something. When I say it like that, I'd say it with being most humble. My experience, my recent experience, most definitely humbled me. I no longer quick to judge. Like if I hear somebody's situation in a relationship or something, or the man or the woman, it don't matter. I don't be quick to judge of anything because I don't know anything. My feelings are not involved, and I don't live with them. I don't judge. I just look, I hear, and I don't even make a judgment in my brain because I don't know. Because I've been humbled of that. Believe me when I say that. I've been humbled of that. The question is, what is in your toolbox for sure? Any questions, man? Any question? We had 1 minute and 36. Now I'll go 2 hours if we got some questions. No problem at all. We say go to a job that will teach you what you will need to start, preferably by preferably by a related business. One thing I love about this is what I love about what I do. I am actually forming it. My goal is to be one of the largest motivational speakers in the world. That's my goal. I already know that I can because I'm doing it now. The world just doesn't know yet. That's the difference. When you find your purpose and when you find what you're supposed to be here for, all my life I've always naturally wanted to help people do better, be a better person. That's all I do because I know how it feels. I've been naturally doing that since elementary school. Of course, nobody's perfect, mistakes along the way, but you know what? I'm still the same person to my core. So when this happens, it's a natural process for me because I've been doing it for years already. I just have a bigger audience. It's only a matter of time, especially now. Like before right now, I used to always think to myself, "Oh man, I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I'm ready." I used to always say that, "Oh man, SMD, I'm ready." No, I wasn't. I was not even close. Not even I can tell you right now, I can say that to myself in the mirror. I was not even close. I needed to experience what I experienced first. Now that I see it, I'm like, "Oh, that's what I needed to know because it answered a lot of my questions in my past, my whole entire life. Answered questions about myself, confused. Put it this way, once you become debt free and you lose all the stress and the problems, you look for more peace. It never stops. You say, "Oh my God, look how much getting rid of all this debt, how much peace it gave me." And now you're hooked. Now you got a taste of it. Now you're trying to cover your entire life in peace. You realize it is possible. I know when you watch the news and you talk to your friends, everything is in turmoil, negativity, blah, 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 but that's not the majority. Think about it. If it was as bad as you probably believe in your brain, you wouldn't. How do you go to sleep at night? Your house would be getting broken in every night. Your windows would get busted out every single night. Your car would get broken into every single day. I know it happens, but it doesn't happen to you every day. I know, listen, I know it happens every day, but it doesn't happen to you every day. There has been many, many nights that you went to sleep and woke up without your house being broken into, right? Of course. Of course not. I don't live like that. Peace is peace is a requirement in my life. Believe that. That's a requirement. I had to earn it. You guys understand me? I had to earn this peace. 100% earn it. I had to earn it. And I promise you that I did. Oh, I did. But that's why you guys see that picture in the middle of the screen. That's me. That's what happens when I put that's what I look like when I pull down my mask. You guys know what I look like, my human face, but this is what I really look like. That's what I really look like. And I got one more under that. Can I change that? No. Can you edit the avatar? Let me see if you can do that on the fly. No, I don't want to change it. Huh. Nope, not leaving. Anyway, all right. I guess I'm gonna wrap it up here. Don't be scared. I'll be trying to get to see if I can talk to some debt slaves, but nobody ever seems to be talking. But I will check you guys later, I guess. What time is it? 12:20. It's 3:20 there on the East Coast. East Coast time. I'm in Seattle right now, and which is gonna be my regular time PST. Uh so I'm gonna be 3 hours behind you guys now. CEO don't want their time. All right, man. You guys have a wonderful Sunday. All right. Until next time. Later.